Welcome back to the channel, good friends. Brian from Apex Detail. After a little bit of a tease of the DIY detailing products in the very last video, you requested I show you some more, and I will oblige. On the far left, we're going to take a look at the DIY Detail ceramic gloss. This is their version of a ceramic detail spray, 16 ounces for $14.99. So if this is even half decent, that is an acceptable price. Let's take a look. You can either mist it onto a microfiber, that's what I like to do, or you can spray it directly onto the panel as long as you're out of direct sunlight and in a nice cool area. Spread the product out, normally one panel at a time, like half of the hood here, and then flip over or follow up with a new dry microfiber and just keep buffing to perfection. It wipes off like water, no streaking whatsoever. It's easy, and I'll show you here first person. The first thing, well, besides the gloss, that you will notice setting in immediately is the slickness. You'll feel the towel just easily glide across the panel like silk. It doesn't do anything to kick back the gloss we already had on this Escalade. You can spray and protect all the hard surfaces on the exterior of your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, or RV, including chrome, plastic trim, painted surfaces, wheels, absolutely anything, including convertible tops. Quick and easy, even something this size. You'll be around it in no time at all. You'll have a few months worth of protection, gloss, and slickness. If you're going to use it as a standalone, which you can use it as a topper for anything or a standalone. Like I'm doing on this panel, you want to take your time and put some prep into it. Wash, decon, polish, at least a cleaner polish, and we'll have two areas that will mask off. Why two? Well, let's compare this to something that was in a recent video and is something that a lot of us may be familiar with. So in this section that's closer to the camera, we'll apply the DIY detailing ceramic gloss just like we did on the Escalade, and then we'll move on to the next section. For the next test area, we're going to use the Hydro Speed. This was just in a recent video, and it did okay. It wasn't so terrible. We will apply it the exact same way because it's in the same class. So this will be it should be a good comparison. If the DIY detail hangs in there for the price, it would be definitely something I could recommend. I'm anxious to see how it stacks up, however. Okay, with no mention of cure time, it's going to be a couple days till I get back to this test panel anyway. So we're going to let it set. We're going to let it cure. Besides the gloss on the panel, the first thing I notice is the slickness. Both areas feel pretty much exactly the same, and they both have a huge improvement on this test panel. The rest of the panel is grabby, it's clean, the clear is squeaky clean, and the protected areas, well, you'll see with these blocks, as I set them on the hood to grab the hood and put it on a slight tilt, the blocks just start to take off on me. Both pretty much exactly the same, and that's what I was feeling as well. When it comes to gloss, they both put at least 3, 4, sometimes 5 units on the gloss meter. A nice jump for both. They are both within one, sometimes less than 1 gloss unit, so very impressive so far. Let's see how the protectants or the detailers deal with heat. We've had some products that cannot deal with this type of heat. We've also had others that have no problem with it whatsoever. Then we drag the panel outside. With the panel upright up against the wall here, we have the DIY detail on the right side and chemical guys on the left. Let's remove the masking tape. I just like to look and see if there's any type of jetting effect. Does it make the panel look darker, richer? It's hard to see an outline with both. That really doesn't mean anything. Next, I like to take a look at water behavior, and in the last video, the hydro speed was a beader, and as it wore down a bit, turned into a quick sheeter. The beads are more prominent with the DIY detail, more tension on the surface of the panel on the right side. Also, look down at the bottom of the panel. As we introduce water, we could see the bare spots where the heat really did a number on both sections. We've had some products on the channel here that have been able to put up with it, but that's starting to get a bit extreme. So let's continue on. We're going to move on now to the 10 wash test. As we move along here, it's real bright today with the sunshine. It might be hard to see in the panel, but letting you know what I see. As we move along from one wash to the next, we have a strip wash and a highly alkaline wash in the bucket. The chemical guys, hydrospeed, starts to break down a bit, and it starts to sheet a bit more than it does beading. And with the DIY detail side, it just stays like it's 100% full strength all the way through, no problems at all. And after 10 washes or so, this is what we have. Let me bring you guys in a little bit closer, give you a different angle. You can see no problem at all. Still some very impressive beading. And we have, it's starting to diminish into quick sheeting on the left side. Let's move on. We'll grab some harsher chemicals and introduce to the panel. And we'll move along and go a little bit further, get a little bit more aggressive. If you notice, the DIY Detail ceramic gloss is actually beating the Citral 266, so that's a good sign when it comes to chemical resistance. We'll rub the cleaner even further into the panel and both test areas, then we'll rinse. We'll follow up with a wash to make sure there's no residue, and then we'll take a look. The left side has broken down a bit more. The right side is still going strong. Let's take another round here. We'll grab the Citral 266 one more time after drying the panel so it has direct contact without being diluted. Let it sit for a split second or two, wipe it into the panel, wash it, and take another look. So after the 10 wash test and a few rounds of the Citral 266, the DIY Detail ceramic gloss is still going strong. Very impressive. Outperformed what I thought it would for a detail ceramic spray, which also can be used as a drying aid. And compared to a product in the same category from a company that's been around for quite some time and a lot are familiar with, I think it did rather well and worth looking into the DIY Detail ceramic gloss. This has been Brian from Apex Detail. I'll catch you in the next video.